Hello again. This is July 2nd garden tour for 2021 here in Santa Clara. So this is a quick scan of our backyard from left to right. So I'll start over here. So this is our grapevine, which has grown quite a bit. We've been having spider mite issues, so I've been having to spray it with some organic sprays. And we do have two or three grape clusters. So you can see they're starting to swell a little bit, but probably still another couple of months. Beneath them over here, we have some potatoes, a Russian banana and huckleberry variety, and this is thyme. Moving on to our mulberry tree. It's finished fruiting. We got quite a bit of fruit off of it, and I've heavily cut it down. It had actually grown to about 14 feet, and I've cut it down to maybe 7 or 8 feet. Moving down into our main raised bed, we have one watermelon plant which is vining out. We'll see how it does. And besides that, we have some cucumber and pepper plants. And so this first pepper plant over here is a Jimmy Nardello. So you can see it has quite a bit of peppers on here. And there's another one right next to it. And then over here we have a lipstick pepper, which looks a little bit different. So all these are not ripe yet. And then our cucumber plants are starting out. And there's a few cucumbers. We've harvested maybe 3 or 4. So you can see an example there. These are smaller cucumbers. They only grow to about 5 or 6 inches. Besides that, we have a cherry tomato plant called Sakura. And this year it has some disease issues or insect pressure, I'm not sure. But we've still been harvesting a decent amount of tomatoes off of it. Then beneath that we have one cucumber plant hiding in the corner. We have another pepper plant here, Jimmy Nardello. It's got a few peppers. We have basil that's small, and then hidden inside here we have chives, which aren't getting much sun right now. Moving on, we have a dwarf tomato called Tasmanian chocolate. And this really has lots of tomatoes. We've harvested a couple so far, and they're kind of dark orange with black stripes. Tastes pretty good. Not as good as the result from last year, but still have that heirloom quality. So our cherry tree, we got 2 cherries off of it this year. So hopefully next year we'll do better. Besides that, we have a grape tomato called Solano. It's semi-determinate. You can see it has quite a few tomatoes. I don't know how many, but probably hundreds. And we've been harvesting maybe 20 or 30 of them so far. It's also kind of invading the cherry tree here. Besides that, we have a cucumber plant, and you can see it has a couple of cucumbers, maybe another day or 2 to pick those. Besides that, here we have a raspberry plant. This is a golden raspberry called Anne. You can see this is kind of the main crop. But we also have the spring crop inside over here. You see they're ripening up, maybe another couple of days for these. And I have to net them because otherwise the insects and birds get them. So you can see them over here. And then we have our a mandarin tree, not doing so great, but okay, and some mint. Besides our raspberries, we have a sun gold tomato plant, and you can see some ripe tomatoes over there. Going back out, we can take a look at some of the trees. So here we have our apple tree. And the apples are growing, so that's good. Probably expect these to ripen up in September and October. Besides that, we have our apricot tree, which we've harvested most of already. And this year we maybe had 40 or 50 apricots, a little bit less than normal. But it looks healthy, and actually it needs to be cut back severely because otherwise it's threatening to take over the entire space. Besides that, we have our strawberry tower. I'm getting a few strawberries from that. It's doing pretty well. And then we have corn in a container. So we'll see how this does. This is our second try. Moving on, we can go look at our fig tree, which is behind this crazy apricot. So we can see that it's doing okay. A lot of figs on there. A couple of Breba crop figs, so that's like the initial year figs that grow from last year's growth. And then we have the new figs for this year, which will ripen up maybe in another month or so. And it's doing well. It's quite a bit of figs. Going back out, looking at the bottom here, we have a pepper plant. This is a lunchbox pepper on its third year. Doesn't get as much sun as it maybe should, but we have some nice peppers on here still. Besides that, we have a gardenia, which has a really nice smell. We have probably my favorite plant this year is this blueberry, South Moon blueberry. Really good tasting. We got a lot of blueberries off it. There's a few left that are on the smaller side now. I had to cover it most of the time with some bird netting, so that's why you have these hoops on top. And I also have this reflective discs to help scare the birds away, hopefully. Besides that, we have our heritage raspberry. So this patch hasn't done much in the last 3 years, so we'll see. If it doesn't give a lot of raspberries this year, probably get rid of it. Besides that, here we have another Tasmanian chocolate dwarf tomato. Some more strawberries in a container. And this is our lime tree. Not too many limes, but there's a couple. Right here, over here, maybe 5 or 10 or so on the tree. We have our pomegranate. This is its second year. And it had a lot of flowers, but no female flowers this year. So we'll see how it does next year. Below that, we have some strawberries. So coming up here, we have another blueberry plant. This is called Sunshine Blue, which has some tomatoes, blueberries. And here we have some flowers. So we have zinnia, some jasmine. You can see the little white flowers. Beneath that, we have some chives and lettuce. And here is also some more lettuce. So we can end the video with just some example of our harvest for the past few days. So here's the tomatoes. So this is the Tasmanian chocolate. And this is an example of the sakura. And this is an example of the Solano. Then over here we have some of the apricots and the strawberries. This is a nectarine from the front yard. Some of the Breba figs, which aren't as good as the ones that come later, but still good. And this is an example of the Sun Gold tomato. So you can see bright orange, really sweet flavor. And of course, some of the blueberries. And one cucumber. This is about the size that I look to pick, maybe a little bit larger. And that's it. Thank you.